Hello YouTube chess lovers and my friends, this is Gunjan here and welcome to my 13 chess trap. Now when you play e4, there is one opening which you will likely to meet at all level of chess, that is the opening called sniper. Now sniper can be characterized by these three move orders by the black. So black can start with the move g6 followed by the move bishop to g7 and then quickly go for the move c5. And no matter how white responds, these three moves are pretty much on the card. And the problem from the white perspective is, if you don't have any system against the sniper, then you come into a serious pressure early in the opening. So that's why it's very essential for you to have some kind of system against the sniper. Now what I have done in this video is I'm going to show you a particularly nice chess trap which many sniper people are not aware of it. And the good thing is, even though if your opponent doesn't fall for it, you get a nice easy to play position as a white. So let's see this trap. White will start with the move e4 and black responded with the move g6, and here I propose you go for the main line which start with the move d4, and when the black responded with bishop to g7, you play knight to c3. Here obvious response will be the c5 by the black, which has a merit of attacking that pawn, and here white will capture the pawn. So as per the main theory of the sniper, black will always place this queen to a5 move. Now queen to a5 move is a dual purpose move, so not only it's tried to regaining the pawn, but you can also see it's pressurizing this knight. So white response is pretty much forced, so white has to play bishop to d2, and when black recapture that pawn, here comes the stunning reply, which is knight to d5. Now knight to d5 has one drawback, which this b2 pawn is right now hanging, and if black wishes, black can capture this pawn, but again you will see that is one of the sideline trap which I'm going to show you in this video. The good perspective from the white side is black has only few accurate moves left, which I have highlighted by the arrows over here, which are knight to a6 and b6. But how many of your opponent knows this? I bet not many, because most logical moves looks like e6 and knight to f6, which leads to our wonderful chess trap. So let's see this. In one of my game, my opponent responded with move e6, which has a merit of attacking my knight, but now comes the very forcing sequence, which is bishop to b4. Please note, queen has to watch out this c7 square, otherwise knight will go to the c7 and it will fork the king and the rook. So the only logical reply left for the black is queen goes to the c6, but I wonder if you can spot the next amazing move by white. Please pause the video and find out winning move by the white, and that move is bishop to b5. Bam! So forget about the rook now. Black queen is trapped. So you can see this queen doesn't have any place to hide, and if queen capture this bishop, now comes the complete family fork, which is knight to c7, and black queen is a goner. So that is one of the main trap exist in the sniper, and up till now I have many victims. When you play knight to d5, there is another trap which black can fall into, and if your opponent is greedy, then he will likely to capture this pawn with the bishop. So bishop cross b2, which has a merit of attacking the rook, and white response is pretty much forced, so white has to play rook to b1, and if the bishop drop backs any other squares, then black will fall into our main trap. So the only logical reply left from the black is bishop to d4, which has a merit of attacking the f2, but here white has again the pretty good trap, which start with the move bishop to b4, so it has a merit of attacking the black queen, and after bishop cross f2, white can cold-bloodedly play king to e2. Now please note, queen has only square left, which is d4. It doesn't have any access to either e3 or the b6. So black has to play queen to d4, but afterwards white has a stunning reply, which is bishop to c3. So you can see there are some nasties looming. First of all, this bishop is skewering this queen and the rook, and not only that, white is also threatening knight to c7. Here there are two reply for the black. In one of my game, my opponent plays queen cross e4 and I simply snap up the bishop, and still my threats remain the same. So in this game my opponent doesn't last for long. In another game, my opponent plays queen to c5, which looks somewhat sounder because it's okay that black rook is hanging right now, but so has white's knight, and that means black will continue with his attack. So here white can simply reply with knight to f3, and in the game my opponent responded with knight to f6 because now that rook was hanging, but I simply now place bishop to b4 attacking the queen, and now queen cannot defend that bishop. So in the game my opponent plays queen to c6. Afterwards I simply snap up that bishop, and this is one of the fastest game I won in the sniper. In the game my opponent goes for this check, so knight cross e4. Afterwards I park my king on g1, and then he responded with knight to a6, which has a merit of attacking this bishop and also protecting the c7. That means the queen is become free, but here white has a very strong reply, which is queen to d4. So it is attacking the two piece. So black response is pretty much forced, so black has to play knight to f6. Afterwards white will play bishop cross e2. So now again two pieces are attacking the knight, so that means black has a first reply, which is queen captures d5, but afterwards I play queen cross f6 attacking the rook, and after very nature looking rook to g8, white has a mate in 6 after this move, which is rook to e1. Now in the game my opponent plays d6, and I want you to pause at this time and find out the mating sequence. Okay, it's run like this. So I first of all play bishop to d8, giving a discover check to the black king. If the king goes to the f8, then that leads to the mate in 2. So in the game my opponent responded with king to d7. Afterwards very simple will be rook check, and please note black king cannot capture the bishop. If black king capture the bishop, then the very simple will be rook cross b7 with a discover check, and after king to e8 we have this lovely checkmate. King cross d8, it's impossible. So in the game my opponent goes to the c6, but afterwards white has a very simple check, which is queen to c3. Now here black has a 2 reply. If my opponent played knight to c5, then the very simple will be rook check, and after king to b6 we have queen to b4 checkmate. So that is again fast checkmate. In the game my opponent played this cunning move, which is queen to c5, which has a merit of checking my king as well, and somehow my opponent feel that he can do a queen trade, but I refuse everything with this wonderful move, which is knight to d4 check. And now my opponent king has to go to the only square, which is queen to d5. Afterwards I give him this check, which is queen to f3. Please note black has the only reply left, which is king cross d4. Afterwards queen to d3 is a checkmate. So I hope you enjoy and learn this wonderful trap and the sniper. Please try in your own game and make your opponent to think about his opening. Thank you for watching my video, and please feel free to comment it. Bye.